Verbal Big Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. I'd like to welcome you all to the show. First, I got to give a shout out to my sponsors, Eden Clothing Co., High Frequency Performance Gear, and reminding you all to check out this up-and-coming documentary titled Everyday People. It's coming soon. You're going to love the show. Featuring in it, we have D.L. Hughley, Freeway Rick Ross, Erykah Badu, Muhammad 2G, Mad Hatter, D.L. Hughley. So definitely you're going to love it. Terry the comedian. So definitely check us out. But we wanted to get into the race factor. Let's rewind back into Las Vegas when the news first broke. And I want to show you all how race plays a part in everything. News first broke, 50 people were shot, and it stated that over 200 was wounded. Now, they didn't show his picture right away, but they gave a name, Stephen Paddock. But before they cut to the commercial break from the time I picked up the news, when I saw that silhouette, first I said, before I even saw the silhouette of the person, before they showed his picture, like everybody did, first I was like, man, I hope this wasn't a black person. I know my Latino family was like, oh man, I hope it wasn't a Mexican. I know even white people was like, man, please don't let it be a white guy. You know, but the Asians, I know they wasn't really worried about it, but had it turned out to be an Asian person of Asian descent, they would have been shocked like, what? You know, because it's a rarity. But race in America, you can see the disparity in between the way they handled this situation. It's like if a white person commits act of mass murder, then for some reason they have to find out why he did it. You know, see, and that's why they didn't release his picture right off. They had to check into the background to see, well, what caused him to do it, so they can have a reason to blame it on something, or has to be a conspiracy theory, or, you know, it's just not normal. He had money. He had 2 airplanes. You know, he had a little gambling debt or whatnot, but you know, it doesn't fit the MO. But when you talk to other people, you know, families who's been victimized by race, they'll tell you, look, Jeffrey Dahmer was white, Ted Bundy was white, hell, Dalen Roof, who went and shot up 9 people in a church, was white. I mean, what's the difference? Now you all know, you know, we're going live because we have to deal with this. So as I pay this toll, we'll keep on doing what we gotta do. But yeah, definitely, man, it's actually sad, man, to see how even in today's time, you know, you hear on the TV they'll say something like the worst mass shooting ever in American history. But then you go back to 1921 in Greenwood, Oklahoma, near Tulsa, a suburb outside of Tulsa, Oklahoma. If you go study that, where they just shot down a whole town, and that's where Wall Street came from, because of the way they were doing trade and making money. And people got so jealous and envious, they had to kill the people and stop their forward progression as far as making money and doing for themselves. So, no, what Stephen Paddock did was not the worst that happened on American soil. Not at all. But it was horrific, you know, and except the fact that he was just a sick, mixed up individual. You know, we don't have to play the whitest pure race card. I mean, come on. You know, only if now you have to believe it amongst yourselves to, you know, keep sanity, then okay. But reality, throughout history, come on, whose hands are clean? You turn on television and you hear all the time, there's good and bad in all races. You know, come on, we know some savage white people on the planet. You know, stop acting as though, oh no, it couldn't be, just a white person just would randomly just start shooting people. Something had to lead him to do it. You know, I'm hearing everything from MK Ultra to the government made him do it to all kind of things. And I'm like, well, you saying that Sandy Hook, you saying Columbine, you saying the Federal Mural Building in Oklahoma, you saying that all of these people were just influenced by someone to make them go do it, or they just went ape shit. Excuse the language. Come on. We dealing with reality. We see, well, the difference is whether, look, as large as the landmass as America is, as a continent, we see a lot of white-on-white crime, but it's not in social media or it's not posted on television, you know. But we see that it exists. We see some of the acts that was committed by Caucasians. But it's not on the public television because the narrative, it seems like, and I could be wrong, but the narrative that they want to get out to the public is, you know, look, white people, you have to put the image up of that white Jesus to say that, you know, we are the leaders of society. So we have to clean what we do up in a sense because we don't want other minorities to look upon us as if we, you know, are on the same level as they are. We have to always present ourselves to be the head of the class, you know. But they fail to realize no one's dumb. There's no idiots. I mean, there's books out here. You got Google. You got so many different scholars and so many different races. It's like, you know, hey, it's okay. You know, we know you would demonize other races and raise yourselves up. And okay, that's what you do. But facts is still facts. Mathematics is still mathematics, and science is still science. You know, so, you know, just a brief note on race. Because at the end of the day, if we don't get this thing together dealing with race, it's going to destroy this country. It's going to divide it. You know, a lot of people didn't like the response that President Trump gave in Puerto Rico when he went, doing jump shots with the paper towels. Come on. You only got 16 dead, but yet they still haven't had no electricity or power to go out and see how many actually is dead. It's not dead. How do you know that that's the end number? You know, come on, Puerto Rico. You costing the budget here. It's like we didn't ask the hurricane to hit Puerto Rico. You know. But, and the thing about that, because we're dealing with race, is the topic. You got a lot of our Latino and Hispanic brothers who think they're white. You know, who don't want to be themselves or don't want to study their history of who they are. They took on a European concept of history, and they even started having racism, and, you know, they call the darker Hispanics Morenos, but that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing to be called Morenos. That's not bad at all. But, you know, you want to try to take on that infectious mindset of you're going to beat the darker skinned Hispanics down, but you're going to try to raise the lighter skinned Hispanics up. But what you fail to realize in the eyes of white people who come from Europe who know who they are, they see y'all all the same. And we'll treat y'all all the same, whether you the lightest of the Hispanics or the darkest of the Hispanics. If you think I'm lying, ask black people in America. They do them the same way. Whether you got one drop, you get treated the same. You get your wake-up call. It is what it is. And you confront to the world, too, like, I'm not like them. We see it. You come to America and you have your black grandma or a black grandfather, and you want to hide them out and act like you ashamed to let your friends know that your grandparents were black. I mean, the gig is up. The race thing is, meaning, one thing America should be proficient at and should be scholars on is race, because we've been doing a race thing in this country, all kind of different aspects of race for hundreds of years, right down to Willie Lynch and how you separate and divide up by age and by color and nationality and whatnot. We know it all. In America, now that's one thing we proficient at is race. We know all the ins and outs on how to build races and what races do, and because that's being studied subconsciously. You view it every day. Why do you think they drop drugs within the black community? And I'd like to thank Freeway Rick Ross for appearing on the documentary Everyday People. But he could tell you that whole story on what took place, how they used him. So, hey, it is what it is. But look, this is Verbal Pick Radio. I'm your host, Vince Cole Muhammad, a.k.a. Cold Black, and that was the state of the universe before the Creator put the sun in the sky. We out.